Welcome back, everybody. We continue with our Grassroots Citizens Panel. Before the break, we were discussing the fact that Governor Mike Pence of Indiana has signed into legislation the religion bill, freedom of religion bill, which allows those with the religious beliefs that don't believe in same-sex marriage to not serve those customers, such as marriage counselors and florists and those who bakeries for wedding cakes and so forth. You know, just before the break, our comedian on the panel, we don't know if he was being humorous or being right to the point, said that he called those with religious beliefs that do not serve gay couples as being homophobic. He called you a homophobe?
I didn't say the religious beliefs part, but go ahead.
So homophobic means what to you?
It's a dislike or prejudice against gay people.
So it's actually a fear, because that's what phobia is. It's a fear. So I fear big bears. And most people are motivated through fear. So by not wanting to treat a couple that is gay, are you afraid of them? No, absolutely not. I am not equipped to, and I would fail them. And that is one thing.
If a gay couple wanted to adopt a child and they were having issues within their relationship, how, in your clinical opinion, does that difference between a man and a woman wanting to adopt a child?
Well, as far as the adoption thing, since I've adopted, that to me is a different issue, whether they are capable parents.
But they're just seeking out help, and they don't know that you don't want to treat them, and they're coming to you with an open heart and love. That was my point.
They do.
I feel like we're going back, you know, to the 50s.
So let's hear Bridget make your comment. Go ahead, Dr.
So to combat that, I have them sign. I have everybody sign something that says that I counsel from a biblical perspective. So yeah.
And in that case, I do agree. I would choose, you know,
why would you want to see me?
Right, exactly.
Right.
But you look fantastic and you dress very well. That's why, you know, I would see the...
All right, and this is the freedom of religion bill, so I don't know how we can call that homophobic.
Was there a separation of church and state?
Barry Nussbaum, you want to comment on this?
You know, I really like what Dr. B's saying in the sense of she shouldn't have to be in an uncomfortable position. I believe in a free market on both sides, consumer and the supplier. But at the same time, I'm very sensitive about intolerance within society.
Sure.
And I'm afraid of a slippery slope going back to the old days. So as much as I hate to say it, I agree with Will, and I agree with Dr. B on this one.
And I would say that and I do want to offer to Dr. B that I don't believe that you are an intolerant person. I believe that if you're coming from a religious aspect of clinical treatment, that it's not the best fit. But for the purposes of counterpoint, and entertainment.
Well, and that's the thing, and I think Mike's sense to me is just, Spence to me is writing into law common sense. It's bringing in common sense. We used to be able to be trusted to say yes or no.
As long as we're not legalizing intolerance.
Not at all.
And
the left has done that for
Will
years,
made the comment to you, have you heard of the separation of church and state? And you said, do you even know what that means? So why don't you define it?
Right, so separation of church and state it's to protect us from getting discriminated against by the government. Which is what this does. It does, and excuse me, 16 other states are doing it. And again, I think it's because we've gotten so far away from common sense and being able to make up our mind that we have to do this now.
All right, switching gears now. Earlier, we talked about Obamacare being in the 5th year anniversary this week. What about Ted Cruz? He announced he has enrolled in Obamacare. He just gave a speech on Monday, a riveting speech where he punched the left between the eyes and said that he will, as president, he will repeal Obamacare. And of course, we'll vote. Those on the left are saying he's a hypocrite. He's a hypocrite. Not you, I'm saying. I don't know where you stand on this. What do you believe? What's your take on Ted Cruz announcing that he's enrolled in Obamacare?
I have to apologize. I was so confused because when I was coming up here, I legitimately thought it was that Tom Cruise was going to be, and I thought that he actually would have a chance to win. Ted Cruz, I don't think so. I mean, I'm happy that he was able to navigate his way through the, through the website. But I think he's in the debate, and he's going to raise some issues. But other than that, he's not really a contender. He's not.
He's a pretender, not a contender.
We all know what the Electoral College looks like, and he's not going to hit those numbers.
He's a huge contender. He walks his talk, and I think that's why he enrolled. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do, or he'll be fined. I think he is such a man of integrity, and I think he's got a great shot.
You know, did you at all sit there? I'm going to ask you a tough question.
Yeah.
His views are very much in line with Rick Santorum.
Yes, yes.
Did you sit there and watch that speech and say, man, I wish my friend Rick Santorum had that speaking ability and that charisma?
He does, and if you've been in front of Rick Santorum, he does have that speaking ability and charisma. I think they are cut from the same cloth. They both have strong religious beliefs. They both are men of integrity, so I'm excited.
Was this a speech at Liberty University?
Yeah.
Where the students, if they didn't show up, would have been...
Oh, you know, I hear that over again. When was the last time?
I heard.
When was the last time?
Somebody called me, they just said.
When was the last time Hillary Clinton or Barack Obama had an audience that was not handpicked or pre-selected?
Exactly.
Jerome, let's go to you. We're almost out of time. I say it's a brilliant move by Ted Cruz. He now becomes one of the few politicians in Washington that has firsthand experience to give the American people his experience as an enrollee in Obamacare. What is your take on this?
Yeah, but liberals aren't looking at it like that. I think this is the first example of Ted Cruz derangement syndrome. He would have been damned. He would have been damned by liberals if he said, you know what, I'm going to protest and be some sort of conservative purist and not insure my family, and then something catastrophic happens to his wife or his 2 children, and they would have vilified him for that. And then now they're vilifying him because his wife is joining the campaign and she's giving up their health care, and he's doing what every other federal government employee is doing. But he's not taking the subsidies. He's not taking the subsidies. He's just signing up for Obamacare because that's what the law says. So he's not going to get a pass. He's not going to get any wiggle room, and they're not giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think the left is going to come to terms with they either love him or they hate him.
All right, we got to leave it right there, Jerome. Don't mean to cut you off. That's our time, folks. I want to thank our panel members, comedian, actor, and former Clinton intern. Does not look like Monica Lewinsky.
Thank you.
But we'll vote.
And congratulations to Monica and Ted Linder. They watch in New York, and they had their first baby yesterday. Congratulations.
All right. Well, that's a nice shout out to our viewer.
Yeah.
Thank you. I want to thank also the Israel Group founding member and president Barry Nussbaum, Dr. Bridget Melson, California co-chairwoman of Patriot Voices, the Rick Santorum Political Action Committee, and managing editor of the Daily Surge, Jerome Hudson. I want to thank each of you for being a part of our panel.
Great to be here.
Coming up with our